What is going on, guys? My name is Dane. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be going over my minimalist phone setup. I don't know if I'd call it minimalist. It's definitely minimal, but I generally use it to increase my productivity and get more work done when it comes to doing my business. I keep things super simple. I don't use any fancy productivity apps, so if that's what you're looking for in this video, it might not be for you. I keep it super down to the basics. My philosophy is the more simple it is, the easier it is, the quicker it is to get things done. I don't want things like just making things more hard than they have to be. So when it comes to my phone, I keep it super simple. I use all the apps that come with the iPhone. I don't use any apps off the App Store. I just keep things simple. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over 7 different things that have increased my productivity when it comes to using my phone, and just things that have helped me with things like having more energy, getting up more early in the morning, staying more organized, and of course being productive, because being productive is the overarching theme of this video. And I know a lot of people are super interested in this sort of thing, so I thought I'd make a video about it because it's something that I've been applying to my life for over a year now with my phone. And I think it'd just be valuable for some people. So if you want to learn more about that, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste more of your time. Okay, so before we get into the 7 things, which I'm going to get into right away, I just want to say that all these things that I'm mentioning here, you don't have to do them. These are just things that I like to do that are best for me. I just want to show you. Maybe you'll apply them. Maybe you'll benefit from 1 or 2 of them. And another thing is I don't do these things 24 hours, 7 days a week. This is mainly just when I'm working and how my phone is set up when I'm working, because I do download apps for times that I'm not working and when I'm working. This just applies to when I'm working. I keep my phone super simple when I'm doing these things just to avoid distractions. So just want to get that out of the way before we started this. So with that out of the way, let's jump into number 1 here. And these are in no particular order. Number 1 is just going to be, obviously this is an obvious one, turning off your notifications. And I don't know if some people know you can do this, muting certain contacts. Before you click away, this is a bit different from what other people are going to tell you, because I know in different minimalist phone setup videos, people are going to say, everyone says, turn off your notifications. This is something that you definitely have to do if you're working, because a notification is just something that's going to pop up and you're going to get distracted. For example, when I'm working and I'm in the zone and I'm in the flow state, some people call it, I think it's actually called that. I don't know. It's a certain thing. Basically, you're doing your work and you're completely zoned out from anything else. You're just focused on your work. If a notification goes off on your phone, it's going to ruin that flow state, and you have to get back into the flow state, which takes a while. So every time a notification goes off on your phone, you're getting out of the flow state and you're not going to be working to your full potential. I do this for specific things though, and I turn off badges too, like the little numbers that show up on an app, because they're just visual distractions. The more visual distraction you have on your phone, the more likely you're going to be able to click that app and you're going to get into this little rabbit hole of checking your messages or checking Facebook notifications, whatever it may be. Just turn the badges off and all of your notifications. But for certain apps, I don't turn the notifications off, but I go into them and I edit certain things. In my messages apps, I'll mute all of my conversations that are not super important. Now, I know some people might get offended by that if you say their conversation is not super important, but importance here is an emergency contact. So if I have my mom or my dad or maybe my brother, I might have them not muted in my conversations just in case. There could be some emergency. I might need to have that kind of thing on. I know some people like to have their phone completely turned off, in a vault while they're working. I used to leave my phone in my car while I worked in Starbucks just so I wasn't distracted. But I found that if I turn the notifications off and have some of my messages muted and then the emergency contacts on, they don't text me usually anyways, but I think it's important to have an emergency contact turned on while you're working just in case something happens. And some people might freak out with this, especially with the text messages thing, having no notifications at all. I thought that too, but literally it's been 6 months since I started doing this. No text message notifications. And I haven't gone back once. Honestly, once you start doing it, you'll realize it's not that big of a deal. You can check your text messages after you finish working. It's not that big of a deal. But having certain conversations muted and some not, I think is important. And also utilize the do not disturb feature on your phone. If you're too lazy to turn off notifications and turn them back on all the time, just turn on do not disturb. You're not gonna get any text messages that way. So that's number 1. So the number 2 tip for keeping your phone super minimalist and having maximum productivity, I'm sure it's obvious too, is just deleting every single app that is a distraction. Now, I know that a lot of people aren't gonna like this tip just because they think they need Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these things on their phone. You can have these things on your phone. I have them on my phone when I'm not working, okay? All these minimalist things are usually to do with when I'm not, or with when I'm working. So when necessary, get these things off your phone. Just delete the app completely. It's gonna avoid you even thinking about touching your phone and going into it. It's too much of a hassle to go into the app store and download an app just so you can check it once. That's what I found with my brain. Maybe some people don't agree with that, but I think it's pretty difficult to go into the app store and download an app just to check it once. So delete those off your phone when you're working, and just make a set time period for when you're working. Like for me, I work from 8 a.m. usually to 12 p.m. on them days off. Like some days I'll be working at my day job, and my work schedule for publishing my business online is a bit different. But when it comes to days that I have off, I'm usually working from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., 1 p.m. And that time is allotted to just straight focus and working on publishing. I don't want to be distracted by anything like text messages or Snapchats or whatever it might be, even though I don't get any from any. Another tip is to delete all of these apps off of your phone when you go to bed. And this is still to do with the deleting distracting apps. Before you go to sleep, if you delete all these apps, once you wake up in the morning, you're not gonna be sitting in your bed for like an hour checking all of your apps. For me, I want to get up in the morning early enough so that I can go to the gym and get my day started. If I have all these apps on my phone, like Snapchat or Facebook or anything, I'm going to be tempted to instantly check them when I wake up. My little tip for me is just to delete them before you go to sleep so that they're not there when you wake up and you have nothing to check. Makes it super easy to get up early and just go to the gym for me, or just get your day started. Okay, so number 3 is organization, and just keeping your phone organized, because if it's a big mess, it's gonna be super distracting if you need to check something while you're working. Like you need to check a Google Doc or something on your phone. For me, if have a messy phone screen, like it's just gonna be super visually distracting, and I wanna optimize this thing so it's super efficient, minimalist, and increases my productivity. Using folders and just organizing your phone into different sections. Like for me, I have like on my phone here, if I check it, I have a social folder for like messages, like Facebook Messenger, Instagram, whatever. Finance for like my bank app, my calculator, whatever. Extras, shopping, iPhone, business, and photo and video, and email. Those are my 8 different categories or folders on my phone, and I keep just one simple page on my phone. I don't have any other pages. Like I just have one page on my phone. I don't have a bunch of things to swipe through and find things that I need to do, especially if I'm working. I need to get to an app really quickly. Like it's just right there. I don't want to be searching through like 20 different freaking things on my phone. The busier your home screen is, the more hard it's going to be to focus and just get things done. So keep your phone screen empty and categorize into folders. So number 4 is creating to-do lists for the next day, and by using your messages or your notes. There's no need for like some fancy application like I was saying before. Like to create a good to-do list, you can use one if you want, but like I'm keeping my phone super minimal. I don't want it like super full of all this dumb stuff that I don't need. So like for me, I literally just use the messages app and I text myself my to-do list for the next day. If you look through my phone, I literally have a bunch of texts that I've just sent to myself over like the past 2 years. I've been doing this forever, and like it has drastically helped me. You can use notes too, but for me, when I use my notes, I like to make a to-do list of things that I need to do further on in the future. So like my day-to-day to-do list is sent through text messages, and then I'll have things that I don't want to forget about in my notes on a different to-do list, just so I don't forget about them, because I need to get them done, but they're not a super high priority like the things that I text myself to do for the next day in my messages. And that just optimizes my productivity, and my phone helps with that because it syncs with my laptop too, so I can check my to-do list on my messages in my laptop as well. So that's super helpful, using my notes for long-term to-do lists, and then my messages for short-term. Number 5 is utilizing the reminders app or the alarm app for things that you have to do during the day. This kind of pairs with the to-do list and that I just talked about. I'm kind of OCD when it comes to my to-do list and getting things done throughout the day. I'll use my reminders app for like super small things. For example, if I need to post something on my Instagram story after I'm done working, I will make it like a reminder to do it like at the minute of the day, or like just lunch. Like some people use these kind of things to just organize their day by the hour. Like even if you have a to-do list for the next day, while you're setting up that to-do list, like say it's check email, write my book description for my publishing business, order a cover for my new book, upload a book to KDP. So like there's a list of things that you do. You could organize these things by the hour in your to-do list and like literally have reminders every single hour on your phone coming up, just with things that you need to do. And I know that sounds counterintuitive to the notification thing, but I think this one kind of bypasses that, having it on your screen and just reminding you every hour what you need to get done. I used to do this like literally by like 30 minutes. I found that it was a little bit much, but some people might benefit from it. Within the alarm app, you can write out little things that on your screen it says on your phone when the alarm goes off, so you remember to do them, like eat lunch, or you have a phone call meeting, or whatever it might be. I just think using this kind of things helps with productivity a lot because it keeps you organized throughout the day and you don't start trailing off and procrastinating things. It just reminds you to do it so you get it done. Number 6 is a little bit more mindset than it is physical things in your phone, but I used to do this. I need to start doing it again. I do it on my laptop. It's making goal-based wallpapers. Now, this is not so much a minimalist thing, but it's more a productivity thing when it comes to your phone. If you see this kind of thing on your wallpaper every single time that you open your phone, it's going to remind you about your goals and what you want to get done. Now, I know some people will do this like short term. They'll put what they want to get done today, what their goal is for the day, on their wallpaper. For me, I used to do this by the month. So like I'll have something that I want to achieve by the month on my wallpaper, or you can just have something super long term like I do now with my laptop. I just like having a goal on my background screen because it reminds me, like I said, what my goal is and what my intentions are, so I don't give up. It just motivates you to keep doing things. Like for example, I have a Lamborghini on my laptop because that is my ultimate goal. I want to get one of those further down the line. So just having that there every single day and seeing it just keeps me motivated, and it keeps me from being lazy and stopping my work, because when I see that, I want to keep moving and keep progressing with my business. And the last one here, number 7, is simply having balance. So like I said before, I like to allot a certain time of the day that I delete a bunch of apps off my phone and like notifications that are completely off, and I just have like certain contacts that aren't muted for emergency stuff. So like that's during my times when I'm working on my business. So I want to be focused and not getting distracted by stupid notifications popping up or apps on my phone that might cause me to go down a rabbit hole and literally waste like half an hour just looking at memes or something like that on Instagram. So allot certain times for working and focus times, and then have an extra time during the day where you can just download things and hang out, like probably after you finished your work. For me, I want to get my work done first and then have things that I can do freely throughout the day afterwards. For me, like, I don't know, I'll have my mornings completely blocked off. That's focus time. And then I will have like an hour or 2 hours after that, like from lunch until I start maybe doing a little bit more lighter work in the evening. This certain time I can download things, have free time, download my apps, check all my notifications, just see if people texted me, or my Instagram notifications, whatever it might be. Just download those apps again, have this certain time allotted, because I think it's super important to have balance with these sort of things, because if you don't have balance between work and just hanging out and chilling, you're going to be a lot more likely to go back to your old ways and just have things on your phone all the time and not care about your notifications. It's super hard to keep up with something and just not have any balance between working and having a chill time. So yeah, I think it's super important to just allot a certain time to download like things like Snapchat or Instagram and just check them for a bit and hang out, because you don't want to lose that consistency of deleting them off your phone, because if you have it all the time, it's going to be too much. And for me, it's too much. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's too much. I need to have a little bit of balance with things. So I think that's super important. So those are the 7 main things I do to keep my phone super minimal and just a productivity machine. I hope you enjoyed them. So just some things to keep in mind, like your phone should be used as a tool. It's not a toy. You should only use it for what you need and not things that you want to do and things that are like leisurely events when you're using your phone. And just dedicate a certain time per week to have that free time so you don't get too overwhelmed with like not having anything on your phone. The first week that I implemented some of these things, it's like, man, I wish I still had these other things on my phone. I wouldn't allow myself to re-download Instagram and stuff like that, and it's just tough to keep up with that. So I think having that certain allotted time and having balance is super important. And just like every time you pick up your phone and check things, that's like a dopamine shot to your brain. So you want to avoid having all these different dopamine shots that your brain likes. Lessen that shot so like you don't have all these different things going off on your phone all the time and your brain isn't addicted to your phone. The more you implement a daily routine and having a minimalist phone setup for productivity into your life, the less your brain's gonna crave those dopamine shots of checking Snapchat, checking Facebook, checking your messages, checking all these different things. The less likely your brain's gonna wanna do that stuff. So the more you implement this kind of stuff, the less likely you're gonna be checking it. And likewise, the more you implement these things, the more likely your brain's gonna crave dopamine shots for what you're doing, like deleting your apps. You start liking doing these things because you know that when you delete your apps, you're getting to work and you're getting more of your business accomplished. That's my video for today. I know it might have been a little bit longer. I hope you didn't lose too much attention throughout the video. Those are just things that I've implemented for the past year or so, and I think they've been really effective. So I thought I'd share them with you guys. And if you like them, definitely drop a like on the video. Subscribe down below. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I'm posting videos. I'm trying to post videos every week. sometimes every 2 weeks, but every week is the goal right now. It's January 2020. That's my goal for this year. Post a video every single week on YouTube. But if you want like more behind the scenes stuff, follow my Instagram. It's right here on the screen at Dane McBeth. I post maybe some behind the scenes stuff on my story on there, and obviously photos. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope you learned something from it. Definitely implement these into your life if you are looking to have more focus when it comes to your business and when you're working. Your phone shouldn't be considered something that's evil. It's a tool. So definitely utilize it to its full advantage, but keep it minimalist, keep it simple. And that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.